Alright. Unit 3 review day. Review day. Okay. So first off, the test will open on actually I think I have it I think that's wrong. I think I have it opening on Monday. Not the 24th. I think I went back and I changed it and they got it opening up on Monday. Yep, it's actually opening up on the 23rd. So it'll open on the 23rd and it will close then again at 11:59 p.m. on the 29th. Okay? So that's basically all week. So that is Monday of next week. It'll open at 2 o'clock so that after the last class, so everybody has the exact same amount of time to take it. So it'll open at 2 o'clock on the 23rd, and then you'll have Monday night, all day Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is Thanksgiving, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to do it. Okay? So you have plenty of time to do it. Once it closes on the 11:59 p.m. on the 29th, it's closed. It's not like you can go back and next week sometime or the week after in December and do it. Once it's closed, it's closed. Okay? So it's got to be done in that time frame. I'm giving you a week to do 20 questions. Okay? It's 20 questions long. You'll have 2 hours to do it. Okay? There's a time limit on it. Okay? So you got 2 hours to do it, which is an hour longer than you would normally have if we were doing it here in class. So that what that means is it's 20 questions, yes, but they're not all extremely difficult questions. Okay? Right? There's some challenging questions on there, but there's a lot of there's some end behavior. There's some all the like exponent rules. There's some I think what else I don't have it with in my office, but yeah, there's everything from Unit 3. Okay. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to do a sampling of problems that will aid you in your preparation, okay, to prevent poor performance on that. Okay. So, let's do it. So, I'm going to show you slides. I'm going to have you do them, then I'm going to go back and do them. So, it's going to be a lot of, the faster you get done with them, you might have a little bit more wait time as we wait for everybody else to get done with it. Okay? So, go for it. Try these 2 different problems. Actually, just doing some exponent rules with my eldest last night. So we talked about doing numbers first. Okay? So when this 2 goes into that 2, that gets 2 squared, which is 4. Goes into that -2, we get x to the -4th. So we're going to make it positive by putting it on the bottom. And when this 2 goes into the y cubed, we get y to the 6th up top. Then we can come over here, and now we've got this -2 going into the 3. That's going to be, we're going to move it to the bottom, and that's going to be 9. We're going to go in here to the x squared, and that's going to be x to the -4th, so that's going to be x to the 4th on the bottom. And then we're going to have this one here, -2 times -2 is +4, so we're going to have y to the 4th on top. So when it's all said and done here with this one, we get 4 y to the 10th power over 9x to the 8th power. Yes? Thumbs up on at home? Yeah. Alright. Again, then on the second one here, we're going to deal with the numbers first. 18 and 24 can both be divided by 6. Yeah. So we got that. We can move this x to the negative third, move it up top. We can move the z to the negative ninth to the top. We can move the z to the squared. Be z squared on the bottom. Now we've got all positive exponents everywhere that we go. Okay? So x's, there is only an x on the top. So we've got 3x. Y, oops, I lied, x to the fourth on top. Yep. Okay? So that's that one, that one, that one. Okay? Y's, there's y's on top and bottom, but there's 2 more on top. Z's, there's top and bottom, but there's 7 more on top. And we still got that 4. 3x to the fourth, y squared, 3 to the seventh on top, 4 on the bottom. Yes? Good? Good at home? Love it. Okay? Again, at home, I got the chat up if you have any questions, or you can just unmute yourself and chime right in. Okay? Let's do some factoring. There will be some factoring on next week's test. So why don't you do some factoring on these two? Then I gotta look at that middle, flip that over, and I see that x cubed is a cube, so that should instantly draw my attention to the cubic forms. Okay? 8 is a cube, so if you go back in your notes, this one would factor to be x minus 2 and x squared plus 2x plus 4. And then that 2 would have to come along. Opening GCF 2 would come along. So that's what that one factor would be. On this one, since there's 4 terms, I should automatically think grouping. We factor out an n squared, and that leaves me with n plus 2. I can factor out a negative 4, and that leaves me with n plus 2. So this then would factor to be n plus 2 times n squared minus 4. But then I should look at this one and realize that that's a perfect square minus a perfect square. So that's going to be n minus 2 times n plus 2 there. So all told, this one factors to be n plus 2 times n minus 2 times n plus 2. Or you could combine the n plus 2 in a squared. Questions on either one of those two? A little twofer action. Divide that one using both methods, long and synthetic. I don't care which one you do first. Do that using both methods. Should get the same answer in the end. That's a kind of a check to see if you're right. So my answer here is x cubed. What do we have? Minus x squared. Plus x. Plus 16. Plus negative 63 all over x plus 2. Verify it now using synthetic. So in synthetic, I would take my x plus 2, that's my divisor, set it equal to 0, solve it, that gives me negative 2. That's what's going to go in there. I've got 1, 0, negative 3, positive 18, negative 21. 1, negative 2, negative 2, 4, 1, 16, negative 32, negative 3. So it works out. Drop it by 1, so that goes from a fourth power to a third power. 1, negative 2, 1, 16. questions on either one of those methods? Don't get me wrong. Synthetic, I would do synthetic all day, every day, twice a day. Okay? But sometimes we got to use the long division in order to get a problem done. Okay? Find me the end behavior for this particular one. So when we're finding the end behavior, we're looking at two things. The first thing that we're looking at is we're looking at the degree, the biggest exponent. If it's even, they go in the same direction. If it's odd, they go in opposite direction. This is odd, so they're going in opposite directions. Okay? Second thing we look at is the leading coefficient. Okay? And the leading coefficient here in this case is negative. So if I were to draw a quick sketch of this, leading coefficient is negative. That means that it starts on high and it ends down low. So it's going to look something like that with some bigger humps and all that fun stuff in it. But that's what it's going to look like. Okay? So as x goes to the right, so as x goes to infinity, our function is going to negative infinity because it is going down as we are going to the right. As x approaches negative infinity, so now as we're going to the left, our function is rising, so it is going to positive. Okay. That would be the end behavior for this. And we only look at those two things. Okay. Next one, on this particular function, first off, find me the list of all the possible rational zeros. Then find me the factor form of it. Then find me all of the zeros based off of the factored form of it. So back to 3. That's my list. First page. Then we need to find one that works. Did anybody find one that works? 2? I would agree that 2 works. Zero. times 2 from the 0, from the one that works, and 2x squared plus 15. Then we got to look and see if this can be factored. 2x and x. We went minus 5 plus 3. Good. Yep. Works out for me. So part B, find the factored form. F of x would be x minus 2 times 2x minus 5 times x plus 3. And then lastly, we had to find all the zeros. So x minus 2 equals 0, so x equals 2. 2x minus 5 equals 0. 2x 5, so x equals 5 halves. X equals 0, so x negative 3. So the 3 zeros for part C, negative 3, 2, and 5. Agree? Write a function given the following zeros. This one I'm just going to do because we didn't really see that many of them because of what the video on Tuesday was all about. Okay? So first off, we've got a 0 of 5, a 0 of 2i, and a 0 of negative 2i. If we work backwards on that, then this would be a factor of x minus 5. This would be a factor of x minus 2i, and this would be a factor of x minus negative 2i, which is plus 2i. Okay. And we need to multiply those out. Now I will tell you, anytime that you have an I, there should be 2 of them, or there should be an even number of them with i's in it. Multiply those out first. Okay? So if I take this x and I multiply the x into there and to there, that's going to give me x squared plus 2ix. If I multiply in, I already got 3 moving on. If I multiply in here, I've got negative 2ix and minus 4i squared. Now we have to remember that I squared here is negative 1, so that really is negative 1 times negative 4, so that's really plus 4. Right there. And these two cancel each other out, so that leaves me with x squared plus 4. And that still needs to be multiplied by x minus 5. So that's going to give me x cubed minus 5x squared plus 4x minus 20. Is my power. No? Questions on that? That was Tuesday's video. Working back. Alright. to wrap everything up, what you have to do between now and Monday, or what you should be working on as we're going through this, is you should make sure that you have finished all 5 of the Unit 3 worksheets. Week 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. All online if you need them. Okay? So make sure that those are finished and 100%. I don't even know why I'm talking. You guys have all stopped, so I'll talk to you guys because they don't want to listen anymore. So, okay, so that make sure you got 100% on all of those. Then you've got 3 formative assessments that you guys can be taking or that you should have taken. Make sure you got 100% on all of those. The review assignment is online. Okay, so make sure that you have that. If you were in school this week, you would have gotten a copy of it. So that's another thing to be done. And then just make sure that you're taking the test. Make sure that you take the test before the hard deadline of the 20th. Okay? My plan for Monday is to have questions and answers. So if you do the review assignment over the weekend, if you have time to do it over the weekend, that would be the best because then we can answer questions off of that and get ready to go for Monday. Okay? That's all I got for you. Thanks for playing along. Have yourselves a good weekend. If you're going hunting, be safe.